Hello, dear friends. The most beautiful things in life are invisible. You have to feel them with your heart. Opinion piece. Imminent transition. Spiritual battle. Time is divided. Information noise. Signs of transition. Imminent solar flare. End of several cycles. Klaus Schwab resigns. Importance of the new. Convergence of events. Prophetic development. Stock market earthquake. Global economic revolution. Protests against rearmament. Signs in the skies and on earth. Let's start. The adaptation period is over. A natural selection has already taken place between those who will be able to make the transition and those who are not entirely ready, according to Peter B. Mayer. Now is the time to fully and definitively align with the new energy for those who have successfully passed this selection, raising their frequency to a level that will allow them to make the transition. Now it's very important that you learn to stay within this flow and stay afloat even in the most difficult situations. But most importantly, from now on, this must become your spiritual core if you have an unwavering faith in the impending transition, even if you don't fully understand how it will happen. You may be tired of waiting for this transition, but believe that there are very good reasons for it, and that everything has been done for our good, even if we cannot fully understand it now. It is very important that you focus your full attention on your inner state and learn to quickly tune into the new energies through your subtle senses. This is what will help us overcome the last barrier that separates us from the higher frequency worlds, and having finally secured our consciousness and the physical body in the fourth dimension, transition to the fifth dimension with our planet Earth at the same time. Cosmic cycles. Ismael Perez portrays this moment as crucial and transformative for humankind and the cosmos, and emphasizes that this period is unprecedented cosmic history, as it marks a collective planetary shift into a higher dimension. This transformation is described as the fulfillment of ancient prophecies of the new heavens and the new earth. He emphasizes that humankind is at the culmination of several overlapping cycles: a 2,160-year zodiacal age, a 5,000-year world age, the completion of a full 26,550-year Platonic year, and the 206 million-year evolution of Alcyon around the galactic core. He explains several cosmic cycles, such as the Earth's 365-day orbit around the Sun, the Sun's 26,550-year orbit around its parent sun, Alcyon, and Alcyon's 206 million-year orbit around the galactic core. He mentions the concept of the Platonic year, during which the solar system transits to the 12 constellations of the zodiac, and the Earth transitions from the age of Pisces to the age of Aquarius. Prophecies. According to Ismael Perez, the dark side of the force is doing everything possible to instigate a global conflict and to try to distract us from disclosing previously classified and highly volatile information. He also mentions the constant effort to keep people frightened in the dark and unable to escape its control. Too late. Nothing can stop what is coming. Ismael Perez analyzes current events and prophecies presenting them as signs of a significant transition from an ancient date of darkness, Kali Yuga, to a new golden age. Key indicators of this transition include the convergence of wars, natural disasters, eclipses, and the impending solar flash. He explains why everything is happening now, that is, the prophetic unfolding of the end times. We are living in an unprecedented times, a crucial crossroads where ancient prophecies, celestial signs, and world events converge to mark the end of one era and the beginning of another one. The wars that erupt between nations, the intensification of natural disasters, unusual and powerful eclipses, and the impending solar flash are not random events. They are all part of a divine chronology, prophesied for thousands of years as the end times or the Great Awakening. The wars we witness today reflect the final spiritual battle between light and darkness, foretold in the scriptures and sacred texts of various cultures. They represent the last desperate attempt by the old powers to cling to control, while a higher frequency of consciousness begins to flood the planet. It has always been considered eclipses as harbingers of great changes, moments when the veils between worlds and cosmic truths are revealed. Recent and upcoming eclipses are activating massive energy shifts on both Earth and humankind, triggering awakenings, the collapse of outdated systems, and exposing what was once hidden in darkness. As the center of it all is the long-predicted solar flare, a monumental burst of divine light from the center of our galaxy, destined to bathe the Earth in a wave of high-frequency energy. This is the prophesied moment of transformation, when time splits and those aligned with love, truth, and light step into a new reality. It marks the purification of humanity, the activation of our latent DNA, and the fulfillment of what prophets, seers, and mystics have foretold for millennia. What we are witnessing is not the end of the world, but the end of the world as we know it. The old must crumble so that the new can emerge. And these signs in the heavens and on the earth should not be feared, but embraced, as they herald the return of divine order, the emergence of cosmic consciousness, and humanity's long-awaited liberation. The convergence of events will lead to a split in the timelines, and those aligned with love, truth, and light will move into a higher frequency reality. Suppressed technologies and knowledge are being revealed, including discoveries in Egypt and declassified government documents on unidentified aerial phenomena, contributing to a shift in understanding. People are encouraged to accept these changes, prepare and recognize that they volunteered to be here at this time. Curious. Millionaires prepare for the end of the world. The most luxurious bunker is worth $30 million. Joe Rogan analyzes the reality of false flag operations carried out by governments to start wars, citing historical operations. An artificial intelligence has concluded that human-caused weather change is a hoax. They want to create spare human bodies and a hadron collider 3 times larger, according to Michael Snyder. Costa Rica has a blue zone where people often live to be over 100 without supplements, gyms, or calorie counting. Lockstep operation lurks in the shadows, according to InfoWars. The scenario describes an authoritarian world in which governments take strict measures. Something inexplicable is happening in the heart of the Earth. The inner core, a dense iron sphere more than 5,000 kilometers deep, has reversed direction. New laboratory mass spectroscopy tests reveal heavy metals and aluminium falling from the sky due to chemtrails, according to Mike Adams. The media creates invisible obstacles to awakening. According to Frank Wanderer, information noise constitutes one of the most visible but most influential barriers to spiritual awakening. Lavender marriages, a new type of union gaining popularity among Generation Zeta. They involve a marital bond based on sharing emotional, domestic, and financial matters, but without romantic or sexual involvement. The legend of the Loch Ness Monster is linked to the occult. Scientists consider Ness's existence to be biologically impossible, but the legend continues to inspire and thrill millions of people. In 1966, inventor Stanley Meyer created a car that could run on water, based on the principle of splitting water molecules into their atomic components, burning hydrogen to generate energy, and then releasing oxygen without generating carbon emissions. He even claimed that the vehicle could travel from New York to Los Angeles on just 87 liters of water. Stanley died under mysterious circumstances after being threatened repeatedly by oil conglomerates. Breaking news: Klaus Schwab resigns as leader of the Davos Forum. Zelensky blew the easiest deal in the world, says the Treasury Secretary. China demands the US abandon its tariff war after Black Friday. Trump declares an economic revolution and asks people to resist his trade war. It won't be easy, but the result will be historic, he said in quotes. We will take Lao Tzu's advice and sit by the river, waiting for the enemy's body to float by. The rotting corpse of the European Union economy, Trump said in quotes. Goodbye to chemtrails. President Trump has created a task force to arrest those responsible for geoengineering. This would be Nuremberg 2.0, and it's happening right now. Trump was evacuated from Washington after finding something horrible, according to Socha Fall. During his flight from Washington to Florida, he told reporters that his top advisor, Elon Musk, found something horrible and unbelievable. But he didn't explain what was it. The Houthis attack US ships with rockets and drones. US announces constant bombings against the Houthis. The European Union admits to having financed censorship campaigns against critical voices. Thousands of people protest in Rome against European rearmament. The verdict against Marine Le Pen opens the debate on the stifling of popular will. A Labour MP has been arrested in the UK for rape and child abuse. Could Trump's tariffs be the boost Europe needs? The collapse of the European and US markets continues. European stocks fell 2.5% after their worst session in 8 months. Banks plunged 7% as tariffs raised recession fears. Elon Musk calls for zero tariffs with Europe. The European Union could fine Elon Musk $1 billion for alleged misinformation. X said this represents an unprecedented act of political censorship and an attack on speech freedom, in quotes. Spain. Thousands of people demonstrate in Spain against the high cost of living and the housing shortage. Housing prices are rising over 5% in 27 provincial capitals. Madrid is running out of affordable rent. Barcelona faces a crisis with intervention in rental prices. Seville registers increase of up to 8.1%. Buying a house in Valencia is 14.5% more expensive. Bilbao is rising, driven by Deusto and the surrounding area. More than 40 billion euros in dividends amid the stock market earthquake. BBVA, CaixaBank and Unicaja are some of the most profitable companies. The government of Spain will approve a transfer of 2,084 billion euros for military spending on Tuesday. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.